Hi, this is Vince with the Sprinkler Services. Today I'm going to show you how to test out your wiring from your clock all the way out to the valve. You're not going to need an ohm meter to do it. You're going to do with a simple solenoid. You can either get the solenoid off of your valve or buy one at Home Depot for $10. It's just as fast and just as accurate. So what you want to do is you want to start out with the issue from the clock that you're having a problem with. You want to make sure the clock is set properly. You have it coming on at 2 a.m., make sure it's set for 2 a.m. If you have it coming on for 15 minutes, make sure it's set for 15 minutes. And the days of the week are correct also. A lot of times people have an issue with their wiring or the valve. It's because of the clock and how they've set it. Once you've done that, turn the clock on to the station that you're having a problem with, to the valve you're having a problem with. Right now, I'm going to assume on this clock it's just number one. We're going to say number one's the issue on this clock. I've got it set for 13 minutes. It's running right now. In the other video, I showed you how to test the clock itself and to make sure that you're getting power out of the clock. So we know the clock has power. We know number one is the issue. Number one is the green wire. Common on this clock, on almost every clock, is white. Sometimes it's not wired right. So make sure when you get out to the valve that when you look at it, I'm going to show you how to make sure you got the right valve. But when you look at it, make sure that the wiring that you're looking at is the correct wiring. In other words, green is number one on the clock and white is common. Sometimes, like I said before, when you get out there, the wire might be a different color here because they spliced it in between in the yard, wherever they buried it, whatever it may be. So the way you're going to check your valve, make sure you got the proper valve, is you turn on the bleeder screw. This bleeder screw, you turn it on, the valve will come on, and you water out to the area. Hopefully this is the right one. If not, you keep turning them on until you find the right valve. And when you do find the right valve, you'll see the problem area you're having, you know that's the correct valve, right? You know that's the valve you're having an issue with. No matter what the color is, that's the correct valve. Whatever area you're having a problem with, now you're watering it, you know you got the correct valve to work with. So today we're going to assume that the green wire is the same color going in the clock, the white wire is the same color going in the common. So what I've done is, what we're going to do is when we get out to the valve, find the right valve, right wiring, take the wiring off the valve. Don't worry about it, you're not going to get shocked. It's all low voltage. Drop this down for a second, take the solenoid, make sure you got it on the white wire and the green wire. Touch it. And listen. You can hear that. Then you know that the clock's putting power out. The wire is correct. It's putting power out. Your issue is going to be with the valve. It's either the valve itself, it's not opening up, or the solenoid's not kicking on. Now what you want to do, you want to clean the wire on the valve. Take it all the way back till you get clean, shiny wire on that valve. Same thing with the wiring going out from the clock. Clean it up till you have copper showing. Then what you're going to do, just like with the other solenoid, you're going to touch it. Again, don't worry. It's low voltage. You're not going to get hurt. Touch it. You can see that. You can hear that. Everything's fine now. The clock's working. The wiring's working. You cleaned up the wiring at the valve. Now the valve's going to work. Put it all together, turn the water back on, see what happens. If it doesn't, let's say you get out there and you cleaned it all up, and you're touching it, and it doesn't make any sound. It doesn't make any noise at all. Assume it doesn't, right? It doesn't make any noise at all. You got an issue with the valve now. You've checked the wiring, you've checked the clock, they're working. The only thing else it could be is the valve. So now, you either replace the solenoid or replace the whole valve. I tell my customers, it's $10 more to replace the whole valve. Solenoid's $10, the valve's $10 more. It's $20 to replace the whole thing. If that solenoid's going out, it won't be very long. In a year or two or three, this valve's going to go out. You're going to end up doing the whole thing we just did over again to figure out which valve it is. So just replace the whole valve and redo the wiring right at the valve with the two wires, right the way you did it before, and your problem's going to be solved. You don't need to figure out an ohm meter how to do it or anything fancy. All you need is a solenoid, $10 solenoid. And you can trace your wiring, you can trace your valve, you can do everything you could do with the ohm meter, and a lot faster. Thanks for watching. If you like that, check out my sprinkler service channel and give me a thumbs up today. I appreciate it. Thank you.